Now, in this video, we're going to talk about how AI is replacing 51,000 tech jobs, right, in 2026. We're going to go through in a lot of detail and give you some advice of how to prepare. Now, here we have a clip we're going to start with the CEO of Anthropic, which is a major AI company.
Kind of skills, things like summarizing a document, brainstorming, putting together a financial report, makes me worry a lot that entry-level jobs in areas like finance, consulting, tech, many other areas like that, entry-level white-collar work. I worry that those things are going to be first augmented, but before long replaced by AI systems, and that we may indeed. It's hard to predict the future, but we may indeed have a serious employment crisis on our hands.
That's just very brief clip there, but of course, yeah, he works as a CEO of an AI company as an incentive to maybe exaggerate the short-term impact of AI, talking about how AI could replace 20% of white-collar jobs. And this tweet has gone viral. It has over 500,000 views. So it's clearly resonating with people. One thing I'd say is what you want to do is, particularly if you work in tech, finance, things like that, you want to combine hard skills with soft skills, right? Being a tech expert with sales. Many people work in remote tech sales, which means you can live anywhere in the world, work online and sell maybe tech solutions to businesses or clients. So that's a good way of combining some hard skills of understanding the technical elements with sales skills. And it's already happening. There's many examples here of those jobs being replaced. We're going to cover JP Morgan and a few other tech firms here. Let's start with JP Morgan. Here we see Jamie Dimon saying AI is already reshaping JP Morgan Chase. The workforce as the bank plans a huge redeployment. Here it says here, we're having a huge redeployment plan for our employees. We've displaced people from AI and we're offering them other jobs. So it's essentially saying, and if you've ever been through a layoff, you know what this is like, and this is a red flag of where things could be heading, where you're working in a team, it's a high paying job, and they say, well, actually, we need to reduce the size of the team from 5 people to 3 people because we don't need the other 2 people. We can get the job done with AI, but we have this other job for you in the company. If you want to stay employed, or we can fire you, whatever you prefer, and pay you a layoff payout. But the other job that we've got for you is a major pay cut, 30% pay cut, maybe not even in the location where you're living. We're going to have to move you from, let's just say, working in London to working in maybe another part of the UK or maybe in another country where you might not want to move, and you have to relocate there, reskill, and work a lower paying job if you want to stay employed at the company. That's typically how layoffs work. They say you can leave the company, or we've got these other jobs you can apply for internally, and then you have to go through the interview process again to take a low paying job you never even wanted in the first place. And this is what ends up happening if your job gets replaced by AI. They give you a second class job or give you a layoff. So you need to think about what's going on in your company, how things are changing, how things are being impacted by AI. Do you want to maybe reskill, maybe move to a similar role where the job's more stable and you can work at maybe another bank? So depends on what your scenario would be, but try to think ahead about how AI could impact your job and your stability in your particular role. Here it says the bank's headcount was roughly unchanged at about 318,000, right? Over the past year, but there were changes below the surface. Operations and support staff fell from 4% to 2% respectively, and the firm added 4% to roles that involve catering to clients and generating revenue. So let's go through that in a bit of detail. What this means is they're removing the back office roles, operations, support staff, typically jobs that are a bit easier to get into if you want to get into the finance role, into the finance industry, but they've increased their jobs into the jobs where you're catering directly with clients. And again, this is proving what I'm saying. You want to have the people skills. You want to have the soft skills to deal with clients' interactions directly. Clients don't just want to go to an AI agent to give them answers. They'd prefer to deal with a person. And if you have those soft skills, you might survive longer than someone who has some of the technical skills and nothing else. As you can see, AI is replacing jobs, not in the future, but right now. So if you want to work with me, there is a link in the description. You can see companies are replacing thousands of employees with automation, outsourcing, and AI tools. Inside my career coaching program called a Career Control Accelerator, I'll show you how to reposition your skills, your visibility, and your career strategy so you can stay valuable in your company, in your industry, while other people are losing their jobs. Very difficult time for many, as you can see. If you click the link, you can learn more about the coaching program, the success stories I've had with my many other clients, dealing with this difficult job market, securing jobs, getting promotions. So link in the description to work with me. Let's get back to the video. Now it says UBS. UBS have phased out meal stipends, which means free meals in the evenings if you're working late in the office. In the latest cost-cutting move, UBS is set to extend its late night meal stipend, setting to end it actually, and they expect AI tools to help analysts finish their work earlier so they don't have to stay late in the office and rely on free meals from the company they work for. And just to explain how this works, if you're not aware, £20 in the UK, £30 depends on where you are and what your role is, but it's quite generous, generally speaking, right? Whatever you want, you could probably get. So you can order DoorDash, whatever that would be, delivered to the office, just save the receipt as an invoice, and then you get that paid back by the company in the next few weeks, as long as you post it through the relevant approval system. Now, this is kind of very comforting for people, particularly when they're working long hours and they feel a bit underappreciated in their job, working longer hours than their managers who might be leaving on time. So it's kind of showing how the system's saying, okay, if you're a junior employee, we don't really value you as much. You can get the work done with AI. And I think the truth is how this would work is that, yes, AI will make things smoother and more efficient, but there will be many instances where you still need to work late nights, even if the AI is helping you. So I don't think this is a great thing because I'm sure some junior employees will be in the office late at night and now they're not going to get their free meal because they're going to be told, oh, well, AI, you have an AI tool that should mean you can work faster. But yeah, you can work faster, but sometimes the demands do come late in the day and you have to stay late. Imagine your manager says, oh, we need this presentation for the client tomorrow morning, and it's like 4 p.m. Of course, you're going to have to stay late in the office until like 8 p.m., depending on what it is. Jack Dorsey, which is running a fintech company called Block, which is like a fintech payment company, is going through job cuts. They're cutting thousands of jobs due to AI. They're replacing 50% of their workforce due to AI. So it's showing you how big an impact it's having. Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey says they're laying off half their workforce because AI changed the way their company is built and run. Here it also says Mark Zuckerberg, who of course is the CEO of Meta, he says he expects 2026 to be the year that AI dramatically changes the way we work, which is another way of saying we're going to have job cuts. We have projects that used to take a big team. Now we need one talented person with AI tools who can replace an entire team. Now, let's look at some major rumors that things could get worse. Here we've got a bit of a summary here. It says a post from Tech Layoff Tracker shared a manager for an M2 manager, which is typically upper middle management. And it says that there could be 25% job cuts in tech firms due to AI investments. The layoffs are due to start in March, around mid-March, and they're going to go on throughout the rest of March. And there'll be a lot of layoff packages, maybe high paying layoff packages. So they're going to fire you, but they'll give you a decent amount of money when they do fire you. And then there is going to be a lack of hiring throughout the year. It says that there's going to be frozen hiring throughout the rest of the year due to a lot of these job cuts and companies thinking, okay, rather than hire someone, let's use AI. So there's a lack of confirmation about this. There's lots of rumors, but this again emphasizes what we see in 2026. 51,000, as you can see from the title of the video, 51,000 job cuts in the tech industry and recent cuts at Block, Amazon and Meta due to AI and other factors, right? So let's continue to go through this. This is the unverified claim. This is the person who is essentially getting 700,000 views posting this. He posts different rumors. He has different connections within the tech industry, relatively seriously taken. I'm an M2 at a FANG company. I just got out of a meeting. Management confirmed we're going to make job cuts at a major FANG company, which is like, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, things like that. So top firms who are going to make job cuts of approximately 25% of the company, with org-specific targets tied directly to more AI investments, reducing layers of management, boosting long-term efficiency. Leadership has to submit a final list of employees they want to give a layoff to in the next few weeks. It's going to start around mid-March, and there's going to have a lot of high severance payouts and things like that, right? Hirings and backfills are frozen through at least the end of the year. So I will have to cut over half of my direct reports, half of my team, right? So it's getting quite brutal out there, cutting 50% of your team. And imagine you keep your job, you're going to be so shook, so worried about how you can keep your job in this very difficult job market. Harry Stebbings is saying, I've spoken to 3 founders within the tech industry in the last 48 hours, all of them with 500 to 1,000 employees. They're going to cut at least 20% of their employees. It's a lot quite concerning. It's about to get very real for labor markets. And this is what I'm trying to help you do, to know the information, be ahead of the curve. And this has over 1.8 million views. So many very substantial job cuts and rumors going on, particularly in the tech industry, about a lot of these job cuts. So it's not only big companies, people would used to Google, Meta, Amazon firing people, but even these smaller companies that you might head to if you lose your job at a big company, they're also going through job cuts. These 1,000 employee level companies are looking at job cuts too. So here's an important point. It says FANG overhired during lockdowns and AI, and it now is giving them a freedom to cut. Other tech companies were more lean. They didn't need to make job cuts. I'm in the latter. I hired another team member to give us more capacity and automate tasks with AI across the organization. What this guy is saying is the big companies overhired, but a lot of the smaller companies, they did not overhire during the lockdowns. They didn't try to grow too rapidly, so they're always operating in a lean way. So yeah, sometimes there are opportunities at these smaller companies who are hiring people because they run in an efficient way. A lot of the big companies go through the big job cuts because they're very disorganized, even though you might not believe that. And then they have to hire and fire thousands of employees, right? So it becomes a bit ridiculous when you see some of these big companies and how they operate. Now we see another trend on Twitter where it says white collar job openings hit their 11-year low amid AI fears. So, if over the last 11 years, we've seen many ups and downs in the job market, but this is as bad as it's got over the last 11 years. So it is quite rough in the job market. New graduates now account for just 7% of new hires at big tech firms, down from 25% in 2023 and over 50% pre-pandemic per Forbes. So this is the tweet with 3.5 million views. This is quite big. Let's go through it step by step. It says new graduates now account for just 7% of new hires, which means that typically, they don't have the previous statistics. Well, they do have it actually here. What it's trying to say is 93% of new jobs that are taken are by experienced employees, not new graduates. So it makes sense, as we see time and time again, Gen Z, people coming out of college and university can't get jobs. They're just 7% of them are getting a lot of the jobs in big tech firms. 93% are experienced employees, people with 3, 5, 10 years experience getting the new jobs. Now, this is down from 25% in 2023 and over 50% before the lockdown period. So imagine it used to be 50% of new jobs were taken by younger people, then 25% 3 years ago. Now it's 7%. So you see how difficult it is. And if you watch some of my recent videos, UK has a high youth unemployment, over 1 million people roughly who are dealing with unemployment, who are younger people in their early 20s. So it's getting really bad in the UK, in the US, in many other countries. If we go back to this clip here, or this tweet, it's talking about how job openings have gone down, and you can see at the end in this section highlighted in red how bad it's got. Big tech companies like companies we covered have gone through a lot of layoffs. Now it's saying here there are just now 1.6 job openings per 100 employees in the professional sector and business sector, the lowest in the last 11 years. So 1.6 job openings per 100 people. So this is a bit ridiculous. Depending on how you interpret that, it could be saying 100 employees are applying for 2 jobs. Let's just round that up. So 100 employees applying for 2 jobs is becoming a bit ridiculous how bad things are getting. So let's look at the next tweet here. Ben Sigmund, and you see these type of things get posted every now and again. This has 3.4 million views. This is an estimate on AI and how quickly it's going to replace jobs. So it goes through the jobs in terms of the year and when they think the job will be lost and what the job could be. So driving, they say you're going to lose your job by 2029, doctors 2030, coders 2028, teachers 2029, and it goes on and on, right? So essentially saying, okay, driving in 2029, you're going to have self-driving jobs. 12 million drivers are going to become unemployed. If you work as a doctor, AI diagnoses are going to be better than what the doctor can do in terms of identifying health issues by 2030. So it's all revolving around 2030. Now, if you keep up with conspiracies and things like that, you know the agenda for 2030 to like, you know, have less humans on the world, to have very coercive government control and surveillance, CBDCs, things like that. Now, I think some of these things are overhyped. You know, typically when you look at how technology is predicted to work, it takes a lot of longer time for that to be implemented. I remember all the hype about Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin has increased in price and many people have had successful investments there. It hasn't completely reshaped and changed the entire financial system and replaced all jobs and things like that, or replaced the entire investment banking sector. We don't have everyone using Bitcoin instead of using their government currency. People haven't revolted against central banking using Bitcoin. So there's a lot of slower adoption than people say. But I said just be aware of the general trend and how you can survive over time, as difficult as it can be. So there is a link in description to work with me directly. We're dealing with this very difficult economy. We have to master the career control method. And I know I see a lot of the comments, people are quite black-pilled and quite negative and doomers about the state of the world. And I do cover a lot of those real issues in the job market and things like that and broader culture. But you have to figure out a unique solution for you, and you have to adapt and maneuver throughout that situation. I've helped many of my clients turn their frustrations into leverage promotions and real freedom, right? You've got certain examples. You can find link in description to speak with me and learn more about the coaching program, helping them secure high paying jobs, help them deal with difficult office politics, difficult managers, difficult co-workers, managing teams, working with difficult people at work, getting promotions under those challenging circumstances, how to switch jobs, how to develop a stronger position in your career at your company, in your industry, get freelancing clients, things like that. These are the things that matter. You have to find a unique solution for you and be able to adapt over time, rather than doom and gloom and be like, oh, I'm not going to get a job, I'm just going to be unemployed, or my job's going to go in the next few years, I might as well give up now. It's up to you what you want to do, but I think there are unique minority of winners who are looking at solutions, whether it's living abroad, developing a business online, things I've helped my clients do. I've even helped some of my clients develop smaller YouTube channels and get clients from that and sell courses online. There's other clients who are in the corporate world getting $180,000 or more salaries by using my strategies to get promoted. So rather than get caught up with all the doom and gloom and listen to these AI CEOs tell you, oh, you might as well give up now, you have to look for solutions for yourself. Link in description to work with me directly. Let me know how you feel about AI taking 51,000 jobs, and I'll see you in the next video.